Hello friends, good afternoon all. This is me, Dr. Koles. Welcome you all to these sessions. In this particular sessions, we are going to discuss about the Hantavirus infections. Yesterday night, the Chinese authority have claimed a death report on the Hantavirus infections. So when the whole world is experiencing a very panic stage from the COVID 2019 virus, so in this state, a new virus has emerged in the Shandong province of the China. That virus name is the Hantavirus. So let's discuss what is this virus is and its structure, its pathogenesis, what it causes, the clinical symptoms, and how can we prevent the spreading of the virus. So it is a new virus. Before starting the video, let me introduce first. I am Dr. Koles and I completed my masters from the OUT Bhubaneswar, and I was the former assistant manager at Central Bank of India and currently working as a practicing veterinary surgeon under Fisheries and Animal Resource Development, Government of Odisha. So the Hantavirus is in news, particularly in the yesterday news, because the virus is in infant stage. The COVID 2019 when it was in infant stage in the Wuhan provinces of the China, the whole world is was not giving much more attention to that virus. That's why the whole world, all countries are experiencing a very bad situations, right? So amidst this situation, a new virus, that is the Hantavirus, is in news, right? So in this stage, the whole world is in panic stage, and the COVID 2019 virus, I am writing for this sentence for the COVID 2019 virus, and this virus does not obey the pan subcontinental movement, because in a very fraction of time it is moving from one country to another country and one subcontinent to another subcontinent, right? And one death report has been confirmed by the at the Shandong province by the Chinese medical authorities. So about the virus, the Hantavirus belong to the Bunya virus group, right? The Bunya virus has 4 different type of viruses are there, and out of the 4 virus, the 4 important disease caused by the Bunya virus are there. Another is your Hantavirus pulmonary disease or syndrome. Another is the Rift Valley fever. Another is a Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, जोटा बर्तमान क्रिमियन कोंगो हेमोरेजिक फीवर बर्तमान इंटरनेशनली बर्तमान से गोटे इनफेंटाइल स्टेज रे अच्छी, मे बी किसी वर्ष पर से भी तार पैथोजेनिक स्टेज को आसीजिव. इट हैज 3 नेगेटिव सेंस. वन इज एंड द सिंगल स्टैंडर्ड आरएनए वायरस, राइट? ए वायरस रे 3टा सेगमेंट्स रोची, गोटे स्मॉल, गोटे मीडियम, एंड अदर इज लार्ज, एंड 2 ग्लाइकोप्रोटीन स्ट्रक्चर रोची. वन इज जीएन, अनदर जीसी. जो जीएन को फॉर्मली कहला G1 एंड जीसी को फॉर्मली कहला G2, right? And all the viruses belong to the Bunya variety. All are transmitted through the arthropods. Exception is one there, that is your Hantavirus, which and this virus is transmitted from the arthropods, that is the mouse. Coming to the Hantavirus, first we have to know what is a virion is. So virion is a very infectious particle of a or infectious portion of a virus, and that consists of the outer protein cells called the capsid, and the inner core of the nucleic acid, or the nucleic acid may be 2 types. Maybe it is a ribonucleic acid or DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. So lipid bilayer of the viral envelope is about 5 nanometer in thickness and is embedded with the viral surface protein to which sugar residue are attached. Because when a virus, the sugar residues are attached, that is the glycoprotein, at the time the virulency of the virus is getting enhanced, right? So the virus is now become more susceptible or more vulnerable to attack to the receptor. So the glycoprotein is known as GN glycoprotein and the GC glycoprotein encoded by the M segment of the viral genome, right? So this is the virus structure. So this is the 3 viral segments are there, S, M and L. Inside the segment, the RNA polymerase is there. From where? From the RNA to the protein synthesis occurs. Outer these cells, the glycoprotein G1, that is Gn, and the glycoprotein G2, that is Gc, are there. This is the structural variant, and this is a negative sense virus with single stranded RNA segments. Right, the RNA is single stranded. So pathogenesis means how the virus from the outside is penetrating to the cell, and how inside this cell how it is changing its behavior and becoming more pathogenic. So this virus enters to the body through the air, through our nose, and at the tissue level or at the lungs tissue level. When the virus attaches to the tissue or the lung cells, it enters to the cell by a process known as endocytosis. Endos means inside to pursue, and the nucleocapsid of the virus and the endosomal membrane of the cell, they form a complex and they attack the Golgi complex. Inside the body, like these structures are there, these are the Golgi complex. These are attached with the endoplasmic reticulum, the dot-like structures. When this complex attacks the Golgi complex along the endoplasmic reticulum structures, this undergoes a transcription process. Right, under this translation process, sorry, I have written it wrong. So it is a translation process. So when the translation process occurs through the RNA polymerase enzyme, the viral proteins are getting synthesized. That viral proteins causes the death of the cells. Finally, from the dead cells, many virion particles, they now emerge, and they subsequently affect the next healthy cells. So this is the whole diagrammatic representation of the virus, from the virus entry to the virus exit from the affected cell, how it is coming, how it is getting uncoated, and the suitable pH media for the proliferations, the transcriptions occur. Right, how the viral proteins are getting synthesized. So Hantavirus in brief we have to know, because this virus spreads to human, but would say from the H2H, that is human to human. Virus found in rodent feces, urine, and the saliva also. The infected feces becomes airborne. Right, the droplets from the feces are inhaled by the human beings, and in human beings this causes acute respiratory distress and the serious infections that quickly worsens. Mainly the clinical symptoms, particularly belonging to this lungs area. Right, so these infections in America are known as the New World. The Hantavirus in the America is known as the New World Hantaviruses, and this causes the HPS, Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. Pulmonary means this word is confined to your lung system. Another Hantavirus known as Old World Hantaviruses, also found in the Europe, Asia, and causes hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome. Here two symptoms are there. One is hemorrhagic fever, another is renal syndrome. Renal means this syndrome, it is particularly confined to your kidney. When two different symptoms, they are exhibiting under umbrella of the Hantavirus, it is known as syndrome. Another is HPS syndrome, another is HFRS, the hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, and it is in Europe and the Asia. So how it spreads? So we have already discussed. This virus spreads from the human to human through air. In air, the infectious agent, the droplets are present as infectious agent, and the source is the infected urines, infected saliva, and the infected discharge of the mouse. Right. So more importantly, this Hantavirus in the United States can cause HPS is the sin nombre virus. So the Hantavirus in the USA, it is known as sin nombre virus and spread by the deer mouse. Right. So this is when the mouse population increases when there is a very good amount of rainfall. So very good amount of rainfall means there is more production of your crops. More crops means more population of the mouse. So there is more chances of getting infections by the human being. So Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, that is more found in case of in the United States of America. So this is a case where severe fatal respiratory disease is found in case of human beings. The virus is transmitted from the person to person through air. In USA and Canada, sin nombre Hantavirus is responsible to majority cases of the Hantavirus infections. Host of this sin nombre virus is the deer mouse. The scientific name of that mouse is Peromyscus maniculatus. Rodents shed their virus in the urine, right, droppings and saliva, and this infectious agents, they transmit from the source to the human being through the air. So this is known as your airborne transmission. The important clinical signs and symptoms, although the incubation time is not clearly known, so it is expected, or it is believed to be between 1 to 8 weeks. Early symptoms include fatigue, fever, muscle aches, especially in the large muscle groups, thigh, hips, back, and sometimes shoulder. So these are some universal symptoms. When the symptoms proceeds, or in the left symptoms, which starts from the 4 to 10 days after the initial symptoms, this includes the pathogenic conditions pertaining to your lungs, that is shortness of the breath, coughing, sensations of the as the lungs fill with fluid, means we will feel as our lungs is filled with a large amount of fluid. When our lungs, so this is our lungs, so this is our lungs. When our lungs is filled with large amount of fluids, and this produces a Duffy like sound, and that conditions, when a large amount of fluid is present in their lungs, it is known as emphysematous condition, right? So this HPS also can be a fatal, and this mortality rate is 38%. Obviously the younger as well as the older persons are more vulnerable to these infections. Another symptoms found in case of Europe and the Asia is hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, HFRS. For this disease, the mode of transmission is air, along with when we are getting contact with pathogenic organ or pathogenic substances through our broken skin or the mucous membrane, that is eye, nose, the mouth, even the bite of the mouse also possible, then we are susceptible for the infections. Here a striped field mouse, that is a Apodemus agaricus, is responsible for the spreading of the Hantavirus. So here the clinical signs, it develops within 1 to 2 weeks after the exposure. Initial symptoms begin suddenly and include intense headache, back and abdominal pain, fever, chills, nausea, and the blood vision. Later symptoms can include, that is low blood pressure, acute shock, vascular leakage, acute kidney failure, which can cause fluid overload, because this is our kidney. When there is a renal failure, at that time there is automatically a imbalance in the blood pressure, because from the kidney, from the juxtaglomerular cells, as well as from the RAS, renin-angiotensin system that regulates the blood pressure, get hampered, so blood pressure increases. So as well as the kidney also maintains the ionic balance or the fluid balance in our body. Ionic balance means the sodium potassium concentration is maintained by the kidney, right? When the kidney damages, the concentration get imbalanced, right? It also maintains the filtration rate in the fluid of the body. So when the kidney becomes affected, the filtration rate is affected, and this causes a renal failure. So coming to the treatment, as for this virus no specific treatment has been devised, only symptomatic treatment is advised. So when the fluid is adjusted of fluid is imbalanced, at that time we are going for the introduction of the fluid, that is known as your hydration process, right? When the electrolyte concentration is getting destabilized, then we have to supplement the external sodium in the potassium chloride, so that to maintain the ionic balance. And when the virus is in blood cells, it is known as viremia conditions, and that causes the death of the cells. The death of the cells also causes invasion of many secondary bacteria. So in order to check the infections, or better to say the secondary infections, we have to go for the long acting or the long as well as fast acting antibiotics, maybe the fourth generation antibiotics, cephalosporin group of antibiotics, or dialysis is a must in these cases. A drug is there that is under the brand name, under the chemical name of ribavirin, which is antiviral drug, has been highly recommended when the disease is detected at the early stage. So the detection is a paramount important from the spread of the virus. So for detection of this virus, we are simply we go for the reverse transcriptase PCR. So that is the polymerase chain reaction. Only for the RNA virus, it is the reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reactions. So finally, the prevention and control, as there is no specific treatment for the disease, so prevention is always preferable. There is a very good saying in our medical science, is the prevention is better than cure. We can prevent maximum disease by controlling ourselves, by controlling our environment, so that we can minimize n numbers of disease in our day-to-day life. So when ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଥିବେ a triangle is there in between the environment, the host and the factors, the causative organisms. When they maintain a very good relationship, there is a finding of what? A disease. When we break the possible roots of the infections, then we will definitely minimize the incidence of the diseases, right? So sealing up the holes and the gaps in the home, it is also important. So personal hygiene and the sanitation is a must do thing in order to check the spread of the disease. So this is the ribavirin capsule, that is the antiviral capsules, the regular washing of the hands, and the usage of the mask in order to check the possible spreading of the virus from the human to human. This is all about the hantavirus infections. Hope you have enjoyed this video till the end. Also, I am very much thankful for hearing my PPT lecture. If you truly enjoyed this video, please give it like, make it share, comment in my comment box, and I am requesting to subscribe my channel. And one last more request, to press the bell icon, so that when I will post a new video regarding a new virus or something new, then you will get the early notifications. Till the next video, God bless, thank you, have a good day.